Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and from Farm Fridays all the way to Mini Monday today, and for that I'm going to need my red Mini. Today's video has been a long time in the making actually. I'd already made a red Mini just to enjoy as part of my city with no other agenda quite a while back now, and that was based on the normal Mini in the probably longest named Lego set ever, the 1967 Mini Cooper S Rally and 2018 John Cooper Works Buggy. Oh, set 75894. And that was a set from 2019, and it had a red Mini in it with lots of rally stickers and some rally sort of spare wheels on the roof and so on. But I didn't copy it entirely, and I didn't indeed have the stickers because I was buying all of the parts individually from Lego's Bricks and Pieces service. If you don't know how to use that, or if you don't know what the difference between that and Pick-a-Brick is, then do check out my guide video, which I've got on my tutorials playlist. So I bought all of these parts individually just to make my own Mini using those same instructions with a slight modification to the roof. And so far so normal, I was very happy with it, and I put it into my city. But at the time, it was always my longer term plan to do a Mini tribute, no pun intended, to the 1969 film The Italian Job. But with this Mini it wouldn't be enough, would it really? I'd also need another one in white and another one in blue. Now, if you don't know the film The Italian Job, you're really missing out. It was a British film from 1969, which was kind of a comedy crime caper starring Michael Caine. Don't worry, I won't do an impression after my singing of Old MacDonald's Farm last time. And there was also a remake in 2003 with Mark Wahlberg and people like that, which was nowhere near as good because the original movie, the real star was the three Minis. They were the old style Minis from the 60s, obviously, rather than the sort of more recent, much larger version of the car. And as I say, there were three of them, a red one, a white one, and a blue one, representing the three colours of the Union Jack flag. And they were doing a robbery in Turin, from memory, the Italian city. And they would deliberately cause loads of gridlock by snaring up the traffic computer that was controlling all of the traffic lights in that city. And then using these very small and versatile cars, they would commit a robbery and then make their escape by driving down steps and through pipes and on viaducts and all sorts of things like that. So I really thought that having three wonderful Minis that are so iconic in their design, driving through Brick Nottingham, one red, one white and one blue, would be absolutely awesome. And it's worth noting that at this point that the originals didn't have the white sort of rally coloured roof that's part of the sort of Cooper styling, I think. But nonetheless, all three of mine today will. The white one, of course, was supposed to have a white roof. Anyway, now, although that was my long-term plan, there was a problem with it. Lego weren't exactly cooperating because a few of the very vital parts, like this sort of relatively new piece with a curve on here, and even some of these end sort of, curved slopes as well, were not available in white and blue, which would mean I'd have most of a Mini in the right colours, but with odd panels looking completely the wrong colour. So basically that plan looked like it wasn't going to work at all, which was a bit of a nightmare. But then later on, as more sets got released, because this one was 2019, remember, a lot of those pieces actually did get created in more colours, including, vitally, white and blue. So it's actually the case now that I can produce this entire car in white, and I can produce this entire car in blue. So that is now what I'm able to do, and what we're going to do today. Now, there is one minor exception to that, and that is this curved 1x2 plate that you might be able to see behind the lights here, kind of moving a little bit there. It's just a normal 1x2 plate, but with the rounded corners on all four sides. Now that in blue was not available until incredibly recently, where it's actually part of the brand new 21324 Sesame Street set. That's the only set that has them in blue. So when I did the buying for this video, I actually bought them in dark blue. So for today, we'll have those lights on the blue one with a dark blue plate there on both sides. But I have already ordered the normal blue one to replace it with in future. So there we go. There is our base red one that we've done already. And I had quite a lot of parts required to do 2 more of these minis in my collection. So that's what all of those parts are. And then I've got an order that I did actually make quite a long time ago, but I haven't got round to even opening because it's got most of the remaining parts in for the blue and white cars. So I'm not going to go through the rest of the parts in this order that aren't to do with this build. So I'm going to pick through them and pick the ones we need, add them to these, and then we can get building. Okay, well I've gone through both of those sources of parts, the ones I had already and the bricks and pieces order, and I've put the rest of the bricks and pieces order to one side so we can do it on a future Wednesday as part of a haul. And now I've got all of the parts I need for my white Mini in here and all of the parts I need for my red Mini in here. And they are, as I said, a bit different from the original in that they're all going to have my version of the roof rather than the original one. And the other thing of note is that this had some printed pieces, and you can see here the pillars holding up the roof as part of the windscreen are actually printed onto those pieces. Now I could use normal windscreen pieces for the other two, but it would seem, I don't know, a bit of a loss really, so I thought I'd get the same windscreen pieces again for the other two as well, which does mean that they're in red, obviously, because they're not going to do these in blue and white as well, but I thought that might be kind of an accent stripe that might sort of tie the 3 different cars together. You know, you often get cars with a bit of sort of pinstriping or something that ties them together, kind of like a special edition car or something like that. So I'm not got a problem with that. And if it looks rubbish, then basically I'll just get some normal windows instead. Right, so I suppose you're going to want to see what parts you need to do this yourself, which will be my version of it with my roof rather than the one in the set. So what I might do is lay out all of the parts for, say, the white Mini, so you can get a good look at them. I haven't actually got that as a list of parts. That would take me as long to do as it would you, I think. So I'll let you just look at the parts before we get building. And then to build it yourself, you can obviously Google Lego 75894 instructions and find those online to build it yourself, because it's quite a complicated kind of Speed Champions build. Okay, so this is the part selection required to make one Mini. There's quite a lot of pieces because it is quite a complicated build in a sort of Speed Champions style with loads of studs on the side and so on. So I'll quickly go through all of them. I haven't got the part numbers, unfortunately. So we've got black plates and bracket pieces, modified plates. Interestingly, some black cleaver pieces, which are actually the front mudguards, if you see behind that grey bar piece there, which is very interesting use of those. You don't need to have the printed windscreen pieces. It is available in normal form without the printing. But very iconic to this set are the Mini style mudguards, which might have been used again since, but I'm not aware of them. So they'll be probably the most important part, and they're black regardless of the colour of the Mini. And then it's worth mentioning that these 5 white pieces here are to make the roof. So if you did want a colour-coded roof, you should make those, say, red or blue, depending on the colour of your Mini. But all of mine are going to have a white roof, so they're all going to share those in white. Whereas all of these pieces that are in white, you would need in either blue or red, depending on which one you are building. So we've got some bracket pieces, lots of tiles, modified plates, and lots of curved slopes of different varieties, even a steering wheel, some Technic and modified plates in dark grey, tan, a couple of pieces of dark orange for the interior, and some brown plates here, a lot of which are concealed, these different coloured plates. You could pretty much use any old colour you wanted because they won't be visible in the main or end product. Right, so there we are. So I suggest I start using these and get on with building the white one. So here we are, part done. I do love even the interior on this. We've got a couple of pedals down there, if you can see those in the cavity. Got the parcel shelf in this nice dark orange and the dashboard as well. We've even got the interior done in this nice cream colour. I mean, it's a wonderful amount of detail that is crammed into such a small space. Great. And here is the white one, looking rather good if you ask me. Well, it's fantastically characteristic mini shape. And I think this red and silver striping on the windscreen pieces does look quite good actually, even though it's a different colour, kind of ties them together. But what are red and white without blue? So we better get on with that one. Awesome. So the last member of the Self-Preservation Society is of course Blue, and he's also got the red accent colour on the windscreens. And as I did say, I have got the two curved plates in dark blue at the moment because they weren't available at the time of ordering, but they are now. So in my next haul from Bricks and Pieces, after the one that we've sort of opened today, I will get those in regular blue and swap them over. But nonetheless, it's looking really fantastic there, and I think I'll be able to recreate the wonderful race and chase and escape scenes from that movie in Brick Nottingham now. But I do need some drivers, of course. And at the moment, I just have a lady, so we can get rid of her. And I think for these cars, we need people dressed up in the full garb, just like in the film, full racing kit. So I thought for red, we could use the Series 3 race car driver, who's rather wonderful. Then we could use for white this racing guy, who's from the set 75871, Ford Mustang GT from 2016, and he looks rather cheery, but I think I'm going to swap the heads. And then we've got this guy for blue, who is the race car guy from Series 18, and obviously I've taken off his rather large sort of toy car as well, so he can drive blue. And I thought maybe to make them a bit more sort of like they were criminals doing something dodgy, they might have different heads. So I've got these three heads, and they've all got headsets most importantly, so they can talk to each other. One's kind of unshaven, one looks like a very rough character indeed, and one there has got some very sort of cool shades. So I thought I would use those three heads in place of these three, and then I can put them inside. Cool! Alright, so the drivers are in, and the cars are in convoy, ready to make their escape from whatever evil deed they've been doing. So I guess we've only really got to decide where we need to put them in Brick Nottingham. I won't place them today because I really want to get your suggestions on two things really. First of all, where I should put them on their escape in Brick Nottingham. Could be somewhere really funny, or maybe in a sort of jumping scene just like in the real film, or goodness knows where actually. And also I want to know where they've been. What have they been doing? Have they just been to the Brick Bank doing a robbery? Or maybe there's something more elaborate at foot. So do give me both of your suggestions for those ideas in the comment section below. And then we can maybe put it into action. Cool. Well, I think that was a real unmitigated success. It's been a long-term plan of mine to have a Self-Preservation Society mini sort of scene going around Brick Nottingham, up to no good, tearing through the streets. And I think this will do it justice very well. So very glad to see this complete. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, well, it'll be Wednesday, so we'll do a brick haul. And then on Friday, I guess we'll be back to Farm Fridays, back in Brick Nottingham. So until then, see you!